What up, though? This is the first time going live on the laptop. Okay. The music sounds appropriate, I think. How does it sound compared to my voice? It sounds just enough to jam. Hold on, where's the comments? Is anybody in here yet? What up? I was gonna not smoke on these things anymore because YouTube keeps demonetizing it. But YouTube demonetizes them anyway. I don't know why. The live streams. You always end up doing something on the live stream anyway, and I don't care. Frank, what up? How you doing, mommy? Muffin. I see you, Muffin. What up, Frank? Man, my dog. I spent the whole day with my dog. That fool's got a cone. He hates that cone. Not happy. They don't know what it was. They, cause his little, like, it was like, it turned into, on his paw, between two of the fingers, right? There was like a pus pocket on this side and a pus pocket on that side. It was fucked up. That shit busted and bled all over the goddamn place. He's still bleeding all over the goddamn place. And because he can't clean it up because because he's got the cone on, so he can't lick it up. So I've been running around cleaning it, but it don't matter. There's blood all over the damn floor. What are you gonna do? Muffin, what up? Shout out to the subscribers. Wesley Mitchell and Vegas Profile Stories. Anna the Goat. Ugh. We was wolves. Bigfoot. Bigfoot's the oldest subscriber, the OG. Puke Face. I don't think that's his name anymore, though. I think he changed his name, but Puke Face, you know who you are. Yeah, he's doing better. Like, all the pressure came off of it. He's just bleeding, walking around the house bleeding, all pissed off with a cone on. And he doesn't want to eat anything, but that's where his medication is, and he wouldn't eat nothing. So I put it in a cupcake at first. I sprinkled it in a cupcake, tried to feed it to him. He wouldn't let it. He wouldn't eat it at all. I said, fuck, what am I gonna do? So I took it and I smashed it up in some peanut butter, and then I took the peanut butter and I forced it in his mouth, all over the inside of his mouth, and made him eat it like that, because he still wouldn't eat anything. But then, okay, so whenever I take the damn thing off him, he's got a limited amount of time before I put it back on, because I got to watch him the whole time. I can't leave him alone with the thing off. So he needs to drink water, but he doesn't know that. You take it off and then put the water by him, and he's like, ew. It's like, motherfucker, drink the water. You. See? Y'all want to see him? You want to tell him about it, Jack? Tell him what you went through today. Nothing to say? He's not happy. That's what I'm dealing with. That's the type of attitude I'm dealing with. Wesley, what up? Yeah, this fool wouldn't eat nothing. Yesterday, at least, whenever I fed him the Benadryl, and what's so crazy is I swear all that shit happened in like 24 hours. And whenever I got home from work, this fool had his foot was swollen, but he had a small red mark right there on his paw. I took a picture of it. I've got pictures of it as it grew over the course of 24 hours. And in 24 hours, it like fucking exploded. It was like, what the fuck? That shit was horrible. Jack was not a happy camper. Yeah. Oh, this was pissed. He's madder now than he was whenever his foot was all messed up, like super hurting. Whenever it was hurting super bad, he's more pissed now. He does not. Well, okay, because he tends to kind of like he roots through shit. You know what I mean? He's a terrier. He stays low to the ground, and so he tends to keep his head low. Well, you can't keep your head low with those cones on, right? So every like 5 feet, he forgets and he drops his neck down and like that, and it's like, and it fucks him up. So he hates it. He can't run. He can't do anything because he just kind of naturally, his head kind of, and then he fucks him up. Tommy Thunder Gang. What up? The muffin. Actions. What up? Front. Man, hey, homie. They try this. Okay, check this out. I forgot to tell little Timmy this. Little Timmy doesn't know this. Little Timmy, if you're watching this, little Timmy saved me $500 today. You wanna know why? We had a conversation this morning, and he said, "This is what he said." He said, "My wife don't put up with none of that shit." He goes, she tells him right away, "I don't want none of that bullshit. I want no motherfucking antibiotics. I want you to clean the wound, give me my fucking antibiotics, and get me on the road. I don't want none of that shit." And I was like, all right, this is just what he said in the course of our conversation. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I just kind of, remembered in the back of my mind. Well, whenever I get in there, they says, okay, well, here's this, and they show me this bill, and the bill's like $700, and I'm like, and it's like it's not even to figure anything out. It's like some preliminary shit for $700. They're gonna like run some fucking X-rays and clean it out and fucking rehydrate him and some other shit, right? Because he don't want to drink any water, right? Whenever he gets like this. And so what they actually did, and I will give them that, they did actually do it. It's really weird. Is I guess they shoot a bunch of water into the dog, and it slowly, like, he had it in his back. It was like he had a bubble of water in his back, and it's like they force it to rehydrate. They're like, "Nah, homie, you're taking this water." So he's hydrated, if nothing else, but he won't eat or drink. But okay, no. So they said $700, right, for this preliminary nonsense, and I said, but I don't even see anything on there about antibiotics. She goes, "Well, it's not for certain we're going to need antibiotics." I said, "You see that foot?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "I put my paycheck on it. That needs antibiotics." She goes, "Oh, well, yeah, probably. Yeah." I said, so you got a bill racked up to $700, and you ain't even got to the antibiotics yet, is what you're telling me. And she said, "I'm gonna let you talk to the doctor." And she turned around and split, right? Or the vet or whatever. She turned around and split. She had enough of me. So then they come in with like a $950 bill, right? After they have the doctor come in and we talk for a while about some antibiotics. And I'm like, yeah, of course, some antibiotics, right? That would be the common sense thing, right? Would be some antibiotics. And so now they come in with another bill, and this motherfucker's $950 or something like that. She goes, "So what would you like to leave off?" And I look at it, and it's like $129 is just for the visit itself. You ain't getting around that. And everything on there is like pretty much mandatory from what this bitch was talking about. And I shouldn't say bitch. She did acted right eventually, but you know what I mean. No, she acted right, but I'm gonna tell you what they were trying to pull. So uh, I'm looking at it, and it's like the biggest. She goes, "What would you like to take off?" And it's all necessary stuff, right? Like the cleaning. I mean, you gotta clean the damn thing, of course. You know what I mean? And it's like all necessary shit. And I'm like, well, what was I supposed to take off? And I look, and there's like almost $500, and it's in two charges, and it's for an X-ray. And I'm like, is this? Are these both the same thing? This is both for an X-ray. You know, like almost $500 for an X-ray. And I'm not a medical expert over here, but that seems fucking high, right? Because I've gotten X-rays before. I've paid for them, and human X-rays ain't that expensive. So I says, what's up, or what's up with that one? And she goes, yeah, that was like $250 for the X-ray, and $250 for someone to interpret it, or some shit like that. And I was like, well, you didn't really, at the time I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, well, you didn't really leave me anything. I can't really take anything off here, right? Because everything's necessary. Because this broad had gone into this big thing about how we needed to X-ray it, right? It was like all the things that she mentioned to me were like things that she was selling me, is what it seemed like. Whenever it came, like she came in and had a conversation with me about what about this and that and da da da, and then this and da da da, and then gathered all the facts, and then just tried to sell me a bunch of shit. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, there's no evidence that anything is wrong with his bone. Because he's been letting me fuck with it the whole time. He's been letting me clean it and wash it and touch it and everything else the entire time. He's never acted like it was broken. I've seen him working it whenever he's there on the couch. I've seen him working it. So there's no evidence anything's broken. He's being so fucking stubborn. I wish he'd just go sit down. I swear to God, he's just standing right here. Look at this. He's just standing here staring at the ground. That's what I fucking do with. So anyway, they go from 700 to for the diagnostic. They were trying to do the diagnostic. Oh yeah, and I forget about that. What was that? It was like, yeah, they had like an allergy test or something, an NSAID test, and I don't know where that went. That was a couple $100. It was wild, dude. And I was like, so she left, and then whenever they came back in, and I was sitting there thinking about the price of X-rays. I was like, that's not right. That doesn't seem right. Like $400 for the wild chance that maybe something's broken. Like there's probably nothing broken. There's no evidence of that. And I told her, take that shit off, and she was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. And a responsible person who really thought that he needed that X-ray would have said something else, right? Would have like pushed back. They were like, oh, okay, cool, no worries. You knew he didn't need that fucking X-ray. I remembered whenever I was sitting there thinking, I remembered what Timmy's wife said. And Timmy's wife said, I don't want none of that shit. Don't try to sell me none of that shit. I want the antibiotics. I want the cleaning, and I want the antibiotics. I just want that, and I want to get the hell out of here. I don't want your bullshit. And that's what it was. Is she knew, she must have worked in it or something, and she knew the practice of them trying to sell you this list of stuff, right? And Timmy's words are what made me push back. And that shit saved me like $500. I didn't need that X-ray. He's not. He hasn't acted like he's broken at all. He hasn't even yelped once. I don't think anything's broken. I don't think. He's just standing there staring at the ground, and I swear to God, you're a dick, fool. And he's got a bed. Like, he's got a bed. I'll go up there and put him on the what's called? Put him on his bed. He's like, no, I'm just going to go stand around. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Sweetheart. There's just fucking bloody paw prints on the fucking ground. Here, we'll take the thing off you. Here. Let's go. We'll take this off you, but you got to stay with me. You can't be licking your fucking foot. I don't know. We might just leave it on you. This thing's a bitch to get on and off. Fuck it. You're going on live with the... Fuck it. We're going to do it live. All right, Jack? With bloody foot and all. We're doing it live. He's having a rough day. What up, Irony? Royston Marshall? London in the house? That Jamie Rupert? Jack Mehov. Some veterinarians are unscrupulous. They know how much we love our animals and they prey on that. I was crying. That bitch probably thought she had me. That's why they hit me with the extra $500 for x-rays, right? Just the extra $5 real quick. She seen that I was crying, so they upped the price. Yeah, that's fucked up, huh? Because I told the first lady no for $700, and she probably went out there and told them, oh yeah, this food's really in his fucking purse. You know what I mean? You can get him for some more. So then they come in with a motherfucking bill for $950. These motherfuckers. Woo! Yeah. Hit that like button up. That shit's weak. Oh, Jack. Jack's poor foot, boy. Jack's foot, homie, it looks like it just... Looks like a Vietnam wound. Watch. Facebook or YouTube might censor that. Explicit content. Let's see. There we go. School boy. Yeah, they try to get me, dog. They try to get me, homie. I tell you. She was like, "Oh yeah." Whenever I fucking told her off the first time, she went out and told the other one, "Yeah, this fool's really in his feelings." And yeah. The secret Jewish tunnels they just found in New York. What are they doing? What are they doing with them? No, I can't take that stuff off him because he'll lick his foot, and that's what fucks it up and makes it way worse. That was part of the problem. That's how it got so bad so quickly. That's one of the reasons it got so bad so quick, is because I don't have all fucking day to keep him from licking his foot. And if you even walk away from him, he'll start doing it. And you can turn just a little problem into a big problem. That's if I'd have known this, I'd have ran across the street and got one of these at PetSmart. Oh no, I'll never make that mistake again. You go this thing first. This is the very first thing that happens if they got anything like this. We ain't dealing with it, fool. Fucking $500. Fucking x-rays. Fucking x-rays this fool don't even need. They gave me I got some Epsom salt. That's what I did with him yesterday. I did an Epsom salt yesterday, and then I did like just one with like Dawn dish soap just to clean it. You know what I mean? And then they gave me this little rinse stuff. I'm about to go hit it with this rinse stuff. Whenever I'm done with the live, I'll go hit it with the rinse real good. and maybe just rinse it, rinse them off with warm water, and then hit it with their little antiseptic stuff. Probably, they said, but you can't. They said when it's swollen like that, you can't wrap it. You just kind of gotta let him walk it off and let all that shit come out. You know what I mean? Let it work itself out. That's the best way to do. Is just let all that stuff work its way out. So there's like bloody paw prints all over that. This carpet's been fucked up though. Let's see. Interdigit cyst. It is, I believe. Yeah. That's exactly where it showed up. It showed up in between the little digits, in between the little fingers. That's probably the closest description I've heard to what I saw. I bet you it was that, dog, because that's exactly what it sounds like. This fool keeps going to sleep, dude. As soon as I pick him up, but would you just go in your fucking bed and go to sleep? He won't. If I go in there and put him in his bed, he won't go to sleep. He'll come back here though and do this. Knock out. The thing is, though, God, this is killing me though. Jack, you gotta go. I'm sorry, buddy. It's starting to give me cramps in my legs. Because you know how you put your legs together to hold the dog? We'll do that for fucking 8 hours in a day. And you end up with cramps all in your legs. Jack, come on, dog. You gotta move out from underneath my legs, baby. You have to move. Stop it. I swear to God. You just stand there. You're such a dick, fool. We should go upstairs. It's getting late down here to be doing this. I got some weed that is goddamn ridiculous. It's homegrown. Jack, you're gonna have to move, sir. You're just being. He's just literally just being difficult for the sake of being difficult right now. I don't know if you're making up these stairs. Would you like some help up the stairs, sir? I'm gonna take this up there and then go get him. He's not gonna cooperate. Hang out for a minute. I just had to wrestle that. That was ridiculous. Where we at? Where's the chat? Facts for that night. I listened to my girl, did this, was healed. So as long as it's absorbent. What's huge? The interdigit cyst. That fool's like, homie, my back is fucking killing me, dog. I've been carrying that fool all day. And he's not cooperated all day long. Drowsall? What's Drawsall? Is that what it's called? Let's see. Maybe I could get him a mask to where he couldn't, instead of the cone. Maybe I could get him a mask. Like a bite muzzle would keep him from chewing, right? That might be a good idea. Because that thing's ridiculous. He can't walk anywhere. He's pissed off. And because he's pissed off, he won't cooperate with me going anywhere. He like just... like a dead body. He acts like he's a fucking dead body. Let's see. What do I have? I have a first aid kit around here somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. I really fucked with all this stuff before he left. Let's see who's in there. Herb, what up though? What's huge with him? With Frenchies? Yeah, he would leave it alone. I think you're right about that. He would have to leave it alone because of the cone. So I agree with that. But the cone of shame, yeah. Towel one time. Oh yeah, I guess if he's small enough, huh? You could just wrap it. These ones, a lot of the times with Frenchies, a lot of the times you don't even have to deal with it because they can't lick themselves in a lot of places. But this fool's more built like a normal dog. Anna, what up? Let's see. Yeah, his shit is that shit is draining. He is pissed. What y'all think about Trump? Yeah, Anna, he's gonna be all right. His foot's just tender and bleeding all over the damn place, but he's gonna be all right. I had to force feed him the medication in the form of peanut butter. He wasn't gonna eat it. I tried to give him a cupcake. I got some cupcakes. Hold on. I made these fucking cookies. This last batch. Oh my god. They're something else. Like the texture is like not even the same. I do know Windows 10, Anna. Yeah. I think I use Windows 10. I think this is Windows 10. Yeah, this one is Windows 10. I think that's all we use anymore, right? Now, some people probably still use Windows 7. Nobody uses Windows 8. Windows 8 sucks. You guys ever use that? I bought a laptop during that time. That was a fucking mistake. Thought I was getting a good deal. Didn't know any better. They traded it to me in a trade, and I was like, shit, this is a dope ass laptop. And it was a dope ass laptop, except for it was a Windows 8. Fuck it. Fucking little Timmy, I'm telling you, little Timmy's wisdom, homie, that paisa wisdom. Saved me $500 today, dog. Shout out to little Timmy. We could all use some wisdom like that. I want to make some cookies. I'm going to make some they're going to be like apple cinnamon flavor. Apple cinnamon, probably some vanilla in there. Nutmeg, allspice, things like this. But then, that's just going to be the first step is the cookie, right? I want to make I want to chop up some sour apples really fine, right? And turn them almost into like an apple pie jelly, right? And then kind of put them on top of the cookie and then bake them like that, you know, so that they harden into a tacky, sticky apple crust almost, right? But I'm not going to make it too sweet. Make it like a sour with some acid. Throw some vitamin C in that bitch. Hit it with some citric acid, so it's got that nice tang to it. But then come back over it with like standard white icing, right? Because that's what you would want to do with the sour apples. Bring it back with the white icing, right? And if you don't go too heavy on you don't go too heavy on the sugar in the initial cookie, you can get a lot more flavors in it. Desserts are too sweet these days. You know, mouthful of fucking sugar. And they call it designer. You know what I mean? They'll call it crumble cookies. It's like $5 a cookie. It's a gang of sugar. They just found some way to put a gang of fucking sugar in something. It's not good. I'll make some better shit than these foods and it won't even have all that sugar. It'll be like half-ass. Well, not good for you, but comparatively, it'll be better for you than like their shit. You know what I mean? And you get some actual flavors, not just a bunch of sugar. What y'all think about Trump? Trump being kicked out of anything they can kick him out of, basically, right? What y'all think? What y'all say? Is it deserved? What is you're trying to wipe passwords? It's not really a Windows 10 thing knowing how to wipe passwords. It's just, I don't really know how to do that shit, honestly. I don't know how to wipe passwords in general for any software. I could probably figure it out because it doesn't seem to be too hard. It's usually something stupid. I've seen my brother do weird shit before. It'll be like, like hold down shift and press Z 25 times or something like that. It's weird stuff like that. It'll be holding down a combination of keys and then pressing something else a bunch of times. She has pedo tapes. On Clinton, I believe, Trump, from what we can tell, the story that the girl is saying is true, but she was 22 at the time. So that, like she describes in detail, fucking him. But she was 22 at the time, so it's not anything. But a lot of fools are being implicated in them. Like the little lawyer, Dershowitz, right? And he'd been under fire for that for a while. And it was so weird too, whenever all of a sudden Melinda Gates didn't want nothing to do with her husband, right? It was just like, yeah, fuck this fool. Right? Conspiracy theory I heard was that she found out that he was hanging out on that island with them scumbags. Want to know more about that mall in Miami? What was there a shooting? There was a shooting in Miami, wasn't there? You know what you're talking about? Let me look. Yes, look. Pretty clever. Let's look. Miami looters fireworks. According to Orlando.com, 4 arrested after lighting fireworks, causing panic at Florida shopping center, police said. A large police presence was spotted at Bayside Marketplace late Monday night, which ultimately led to 4 arrests. According to the suspects' arrest reports, officers were called to an area in reference to a large group of juveniles who were causing a riot inside of the mall. Police said the kids were lighting fireworks and causing panic. Witnesses told Local 10 News that some of the juveniles were throwing fireworks at each other and into the air. According to the reports, the group entered multiple businesses and caused damage to the stores. Police said a large fight broke out between the juveniles, some of whom may have been armed with some kind of sticks. Some businesses were asked to temporarily close in order to allow officers to clear the mall. Police said officers had to shut down 6 blocks of Biscayne Boulevard as they worked to get the situation under control, as the juveniles were forced out of Bayside by police. Bayside, wasn't that the name of the city was Saved by the Bell? Bayside? Remember that? Saved by the Bell? Police said a short time later, another disturbance was reported inside a nearby 7-Eleven involving a group of juveniles. As an officer escorted about 50 juveniles away from the area, he spotted 10 to 15 juveniles jumping a victim near Southeast 3rd Avenue and 2nd Street. Police said the group ran, but the 4 juvenile males were apprehended in a nearby parking garage. They're just jumping people for no reason. This shit is wild. I believe that. Barry Wizzle, what up? Yeah. Hey, homie. Hey, by the time they tried to throw aliens at us while they were fucking the world over, they tried to throw aliens at us and thought that we were going to be distracted by that. And everybody was like, ha. Nobody fucking. We all accepted that there was aliens a long time ago. We already been believing that. Everybody's already been believing that for a long time. We always believed that the government was lying to us. We knew at the very least they weren't being honest, right? About Area 51. Because Area 51's not even, or Groom Lake, right? Groom Lake's not even on maps. The only reason we know it's there is because we went there, we mapped it out, and we know where its borders are. We can see where its borders are, right? Or where they stop people. But it officially doesn't exist, right? I like your new picture, Barrywood. It's why is the South, and particularly the gang banging in the South right now, why is it becoming so particularly violent right now? Like the way that these people like Julio, things like this, his friends, his cohorts, I would say, the people that he likes, his ops, his dislikes, whatever, the people that he funks with in his era, these dudes shoot at each other in broad daylight just go off, and they're just kids, and they're talking about like they're trying to catch a body before they're 18, so that they don't got to face adult charges, right? You try to get it over with, just get it over before you're 18, so you can just face juvenile charges. That's nuts, right? He's got a whatchamacall on. He's got a cone on. He's got a cone. He's on antibiotics. He's it was rough, dog. His shit was all swollen, all fucked up. He was in bad shape. Himos Flicks, what up? Good to see you, man. Dirtsky. Oh. It's yeah. It's yeah. Some of them cats are little. They're little dudes. 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. They weigh like $110, 90 pounds. Why is that part of the country like they're like over the top? Like you can't even understand what they're saying. And that's not, there's no part of the country that teaches you to speak like that. Why does that happen? It happened here in Denver. whenever Nelly started saying with that song, it's getting hot in her, right? Whenever he started saying that, the black dudes here started saying their R's like that. But it all went to like the same schools, like this. The oldies are from the east side over there too. They go to East High School too, and they don't talk like that. Nobody else talks like that. They just started talking like that whenever Nelly started saying that nonsense, and then it's like they just took that, and now 20 years later, these fools, you can't even tell what the fuck they're saying. There's like a whole generation of them that you can't tell what they're saying. And Gleazy said that about them fools from Chicago. He said, I swear to God, these dudes can't put together a coherent sentence. And he said, and they certainly can't do it without mentioning one of their dead homies. It's like they're barely comprehensible. The fools from Florida or like Alabama are barely comprehensible. And they're much less comprehensible than any black dude was 50 years ago in Alabama or any of those places. So they are actually regressing. They're regressing away from the language to something else. I don't know. Hold on. This weed fire. I got this weed from my homegirl. It looks like it's homegrown, right? So you're like, oh, it's some homegrown. So you can see all the leafy leaves on it and the stems and stuff like that. It's kind of stemmy. And you open the bag, it's like, Jesus, this shit is so funky, homie. It's so funky. And then you try to open the bag and it's like stuck to the sides of the bag. Like you got to rip it off the bag. Homie, this shit is like hash, dog. And it's the homie's homegrown. I wish I could grow some fucking homegrown. It's the best weed I've had in a while. In a long time, actually, I can say that. It's some of the best weed I've had in a while. It stinks horribly. The whole fucking house stinks. I'm blazed. Dirtski. Yeah, it can be. But out here it hasn't been for a while. And the reason why is because Denver was smoking pretty much brick weed, and the thing was you could get good brick weed. The brick weed wasn't all horrible. There was some great fucking brick weed. Sometimes you get some fire ass pounds, and you're getting them way cheaper. You know what I mean? Than anything kill. You know, you get a fire ass pound for like $5.50 or something like that of some fruit. We used to get pounds of brick weed that would smell like apples or oranges because that's what they would pack them in. So you get a whole pound that would smell like oranges. It would taste like oranges, apples. Just all kinds of different stuff. Sometimes it's dirt. Sometimes they pack it in dirt. A lot of the times that's how they that's how they compact it. Instead of even putting it through like a press or anything, they don't even do none of that shit. They literally just dig a hole, wrap that shit up, throw it in the hole, throw the dirt on top of it and leave it, and the earth will naturally compress the shit into a brick. Good old outdoor. Yeah, but the best weed I've ever had in my life was from my mom's dealer in Northern California, and that fool was from Austria, and he got beat to death up there. He ain't around no more. Rest in peace to the homie Jurgen. They robbed him. Somebody robbed him up there in Willits. Robbed him and killed him. And but that fool grew gas. Homie, nothing but gas. That was his whole trip. And that weed was so goddamn funky. It was skunk. He would grow the same. It was his own kind of weed. And he didn't have no other kind of weed. It was his own strain. I forget. He didn't even have a name. It was just his shit. That was his weed. Nobody else had weed like that. He grew it up in Arcata, the city of Arcata. And gas, homie, gas. And it was outdoor. It was homegrown outdoor. The best weed I've ever had in my life. I don't know if I can invite anybody up. I wonder if I can. Let's see. It says invite. Let's find out. I've never tried it. I'm on the iPad right now. If anybody even wants to come up, I'm only bullshitting. I need to cook myself some dinner. Stop eating cupcakes. Ate half a box of cupcakes already. Eat some fucking food. Hi, baby. Are you sad? Have a good night, my friend. I like this what's called. These iPads are dope, man. I don't know how to do that though. I was trying to put my name up here. See, oh, well, there's that. Okay. Better than nothing. Bam, bam. Okay. I don't know if you guys are seeing any change. It's changing over here. It's changing some shit for me. See, bam. Where's the comments? Mike, later. Probably gonna crash out pretty soon too, my friends. Anybody wants to jump up before I do? It ain't gonna be that long though. Need to floss to my mouth. What are they gonna do if these people just keep like, okay, the word's out, right? That you can fucking just flood the place and steal as much as you want, right? Like that a mob, as long as they don't know who you are, a mob can't be held accountable, right? And you can do things when you're in a mob that you would never do. You could never get away with by yourself. You get arrested, right? But in the middle of a riot, you can do all kinds of shit. This is something that, okay. Imagine whenever you start a new job and people say, they'll complain and they'll say, this place doesn't run right, about something breaks down. There's no more cups, right? There's no more cups. And they say, this place doesn't run right. Da, 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 da. Well, my mind was so twisted, that as a kid, I learned very young to treasure that shit. Anytime that there was instability in the system, or if there was uncertainty, if I get to a restaurant and there's uncertainty about inventory and they can't get inventory right, they're probably not going to miss if you steal something, right? Things like this. It's like anytime that there's uncertainty or chaos in the system, there becomes an opportunity to exploit that chaos if you can recognize the chaos and take advantage of its weaknesses, right? Because there's always weaknesses whenever shit's going chaotically, right? But I don't know. It's a toxic way to think. I can't lie. But it makes me think of this because if the smart criminals in LA realized a couple years ago that they could start doing some serious robberies and that the police weren't going to respond, right? The police were barely going to respond, or they would respond whenever somebody was already laid out. This is a reaction. This is these smart gang members reacting to the fact that there's chaos in the system. There's an overwhelming amount of cops that have left because of everything that's happened over the last couple of years. there's a staffing shortage. They go on TV and they say there's a staffing shortage. What are we going to do about this staffing shortage? They advertise that they're down people. Then the news goes and writes reports about how it's 45-minute wait times. And then the gang members are at their grandma's house, and grandma likes to watch Fox News. And then here comes Fox News. It takes an hour and a half to get, you know what I mean, to get a cop around here. And then, you know, these things, they turn in your head. If you're a criminal, you're always looking, your job as a criminal, you're always looking to exploit the system. You know what I mean? To be able to squeeze reality and make something out of nothing, right? And it's like a crazy opportunity. And they took it, right? They took it, which was smart. Now, it does seem to be turning around. Out here, they're starting to raid all over the place. They're starting to raid different stuff. And it looks like they've got their feet underneath them. Let's put it that way. The cops and the feds out here seem to have their feet underneath them. Boom. It's sad to see what a lot of cities have become because of mismanagement. You know, San Francisco was considered one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And they ruined it, and it wasn't like that whenever I left. There was a district, there was a Haight-Ashbury district, you know, and then you had the Castro district, the gay dudes. And then, you know what I mean? You had the Army district. You knew to stay out of that motherfucker because it was gang banging. You know, you knew where to go, where not to go. Everybody kind of had their places. But it wasn't a slum. It wasn't a fucking walking, living slum. And it's a completely different animal now. So I left in 96, right? So from 96 to 2023, what are it, 20 years or something? 30 years? Close to 30 years? Coming up on 30 years? 27 years, something like that? They've just turned it into biohazard. Look at Portland, right? Seattle. I mean, you know, they like to look down a lot on a lot of these Republican cities in the South, and a lot of them are really horrible. They're really horrible to people, and they don't treat people well. And the things that the Democrats say about them are 100% true, but all the Democrats do is provide somebody a comfortable place to fucking die, because they don't really give a fuck about you. They only care about their side of the argument and winning, I guess I would say. Like that's the that's the catch-22 of the situation, is that the Democrats need black people to suffer. They need minorities to be oppressed, so their whole platform is trash, right? Jack's right here again. No disrespect. No disrespect. Let's see how Jack is doing. Let's check in with Jack. Are you good, Publish? You want to talk about it? Not bad, huh? If you could be trusted to not chew your sock, it'd be different. But no one trusts you, Jack. sorry. You're not trustworthy. He is pissed. He's not happy. He will not. He's not listening to me at all. He won't listen to me at all. Hey, he won't listen to me at all, but he won't go in the other room and just go lay the fuck down. You know what I mean? Which is all I want him to do. I could take him in there and put him and lay him down in his bed in the other room, and that fool would come back and just stand here and be mad. These kids, you know, even the ones in Chicago, right? The shit in Chicago, it was like, okay, everybody understood, right? They left a power vacuum. They indicted all these fools. They left a power vacuum in Chicago. Made sense. All these different gangs go crazy. And a bunch of different alliances. People start killing each other, whatever. But there was even a half-ass rhyme or reason to that, because they were going at each other over war. They were going at each other over beef. These fools, like this different generation, they just they're like these fools in Memphis and Arkansas, and Tennessee, and all this shit. It's like they're just killing each other just because. I don't even know. They go look for it. They go look and like disrespect somebody's dead homie, and then somebody ends up getting shot. It's like, you just brought that on yourself. This is dumb. This is not even gangbanging. That's not even supposed to be. What are you doing? That's not. You know what I mean? Killing was supposed to be an unfortunate side effect of gangbanging. It wasn't. It wasn't the goal. It was never supposed to be the goal, right? The goal. In certain neighborhoods, they would say, well, the goal would be, they have some high level, highfalutin shit and say it's like we're protecting the people or the Rasa or some shit like that. But it would be all lies. And then there was some gangs that would just be honest enough to just say, nah, this is about fucking power, homie. This is about power and money. We're about to get this, get these bitches, get this, whatever. You know what I mean? Get these guns. We're about to get at these fools. We about to run this shit, right? It's about power. And so some were honest enough to at least say that, but never was it, you know. Yeah, they gave him some meds. They gave him some anti-inflammatories and some antibiotics. Yeah, but never was the goal, homie, to just kill people. You know, people get popped. It happens. Things happen. More often than not, you know, and Who Ride even talked about this. He said the Crips kill the Crips. And this, you know, more often than not, that's who kills you is your own homies. That's the most likely. Or it's usually because it's over a bitch and y'all fucking with the same bitch, right? The fool from my hood. My homie ended up killing one of the other homies' little sister and her boyfriend, right? It's the people you know. It's the people around you. These are the people you get into it with. You know, we always think it's like, oh, it's the fucking ops. Or no. You're most likely going to get killed by like your uncle or your cousin or somebody who's fucking your lady, or you were fucking her lady. That happens a lot. I was in Lyman. Honestly, Lyman, this fucking prison is full of lifers. It's like 70% lifers or extended sentences is what it's called. So everybody's got life. Ain't nobody getting out. Nobody talks about getting out. And I ended up in this fucking thing. And you wouldn't believe how many people there are just there for killing their wife. That's all it was. Like they came home and found their wife cheating, fucking the mailman, and killed them both. Just made a mistake, and then they're like, "Fuck." My homeboy is my homeboy self-deletion. We'll call him self-deletion Larry. My homeboy self-deletion Larry put the 4.5 in his like that, blew his top off. But he did that. He was at the crib. He was gonna he was gonna surprise his lady, and so he came home early to hang out and wait for her to get home. and he had some flowers, and that fool was chilling. And whenever she got home, she was with some dude and got out the car and like was hugging the dude and kissing him. And he's like, "That's all I really remember." And apparently, she came in the house and he offed her, and then put the thing in his mouth and blew his top off. And up here on top of his head, it was all soft. And he wasn't all quite there. You know what I mean? It certainly took its toll. And he was an interesting character. Had a hole just in the top of his head. You couldn't see it, but he let me. He's like, "You want to touch it?" And I touched it one time, and it was just like there was, I don't know, it was just like some thick skin up there. You know what I mean? It was creepy. You have a good night too, Irony. I'm about to call it a night. I'm getting tired. I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with this fool. What are you gonna? I should make him sleep in his cage. This is whenever I should break him of it. I don't know if I don't know. You think I can fit him in that cage with that in there? Because I can't have him licking it. So it's either that or I got to strap the sock to him and bring him to bed with me. And then not let him, and then just hold him and not let him lick. You. All right, my friends. Did Weavy just went live? Yeah, he's. I knew he was going live. That's why I wanted to get it out the way. That's why I did it early. So I'll see y'all at Weavy's. Yeah, because I didn't want to go live after fucking Weavy. Weavy fuck around and have a 6-hour live on you. So anyway, Jack's all right. I'll leave you guys with Jack, my friends, for a minute. You want some food? You want a piece? These? Yeah, a little bit. Y'all like it? Did you just spit that out? You good, Rubbish? Let's shut the light down. Shut it down.